Hi guys, right, now it's time to export our theme from Artisteer, put it into WordPress, activate it, but this time we want to bring the content with it. Remember the very first time I showed you this? When I activated the theme, it didn't look quite like the one in Artisteer, because all I did was bring the theme and the styling with me, and I didn't bring the content with me. Okay? So, how we do this then is we go to the export tool. We do all the funky stuff we did before, which is to make sure we've got WordPress selected, and we give it a folder name. Now I've never exported this particular theme before, so it's called it Untitled. So let me get rid of it. I'm going to call this Web Catalyst Demo version 0.1, as I normally do. Now the key difference here is we're going to tick a box. We're going to tick this box that says include content. That's going to bring all this text and all these images with us. It doesn't matter where on our computer we had these images saved. Artisteer is clever enough to save a copy of those images and put them into the theme folder itself. So it does all that for us. The only other thing you might want to do is again go to the options section and make sure you've got all this in line. I showed you this before, but that was with a different theme, so I'll come back here and change all this again. I always like to change this here option. You know, I was talking about styles before. Well, the CSS is the thing, all the code behind the scenes that defines the, you know, what a heading looks like, what a bit of plain text looks like, etc. And each one's called a CSS class. That doesn't really matter, but they each have names. And by default, the names of those classes always start ART, but I always like to change this to something more bespoke, so I'm just going to call it WC hyphen, and it's just going to add on to the end of that whatever the class name it chooses to give it. But that's just one of my little personal preferences. It makes no difference at all other than my ego, so feel free to just leave it as ART. Description, put the author name in there, put your URL in there if you want, URL being your web address. You put the version number in if you like. Again, this all makes no difference whatsoever really to the functionality of it, but I just like everything to be tidy, so don't want any watermarks. This is an important one. Remember what this is. If I just click OK a second and come out of this, click close. At the bottom, write this little subtle thing down the bottom. It says web template created with Artisteer. I don't want that. Just don't want that. I just don't want it. So I go to export. Make sure I've got include content ticked. That doesn't really apply just yet, but in the footnote, include a link backward to the author. So don't want that. Link backward to the CMS and Artisteer, don't want that either. Just want a clean footer. Thank you very much. So make sure I've got include content ticked. It's going to wipe out my folder name now, so I can put that in again. Web Catalyst Demo version 0p1. And I'm going to put it on my desktop in my temp folder. Go. Click on export, and away it will go. Now I'll know when that's happened because in my temp folder on my desktop I get a folder called Web Catalyst Demo v0.1, 0p1. Double click on it, and that looks like a WordPress theme to me, just like the one before. So don't need to do anything with that. What we do need to do with it is upload it with FileZilla onto our web server. So let's minimize this. Let's load up FileZilla. There it is. Click on the site manager. There's the saved information for my Web Catalyst demo website. Double click on that. Let it connect. Make sure we're in the public HTML folder before we do anything else, because we don't want to break the website. In my little tree here, I'm going to scroll up, click on desktop because I know that's where my thing is. Go into temp, and there's my little WordPress theme folder. And I remember where we put these. We put them in WP-content and then in the themes folder. So I double click to get in. There's my green clue theme that I made right at the beginning to show you, and that's probably the one that's still active on the site. And now what we do is either click and drag this across, or we right click on it and choose upload. And there it goes, it queues all the files. I've got 87 in the queue, 85, and off it goes. You see, it's uploading two at a time. So this shouldn't take more than, I don't know, a few seconds, because it's a reasonably small file. If you've imported lots and lots of images, then Artistia will have saved those images inside this theme folder. So it might take longer, or it might take less time based on how much stuff you've got in there. Because this time, the main difference between these two themes is that the green clue one didn't have any content with it, so it had no images and no text. It was expecting us to put all that in via the WordPress control panel, the WordPress admin system, and insert it through the editor thing. Whereas this time we've brought it all with us. So when we import it in a second, we still will be able to edit it, but it means that the first shot, it just puts it all in for us. So I can close my FileZilla now, because that is completed. I go to my Firefox, and I go to my website. So this is Web Catalyst Demo. I've been there before. .demo.co.uk/wp-admin. That's where I want to go. I arrive on my WordPress login screen. It's saved my details. I click on login. Here I am on my WordPress dashboard, and we go to appearance and we go to themes. And now, as if by magic, we should see a new theme is available, which is the Web Catalyst Demo theme, and we've got this one still active. And you can delete themes if you want to. You can scroll down here to where the activate button is, and say we want to delete this 2010 theme. What it's going to do is it's going to delete that whole folder off of our web server. So I click on delete, and it says you're about to delete this theme. Are you sure you want to continue? And you click OK. If you just want to leave it there, there's no harm in leaving it there really. What I want to do though is I want to activate this theme, Web Catalyst. So I click on activate. It's going to do something different this time. Rather than just activating it, it's going to give me an option. It says, do you want to import content? And it's asking us that because when we just exported it from Artistia, we ticked the box that said include content. Because this is the first time we've activated this theme, and because there's no other content in the pages that we have, it doesn't really make a difference whether we click add content or replace imported content. Say we imported or clicked add content, it would put all of the wording on the pages for us, as we have just done in Artistia. But say then in a future date we went into Artistia and changed something, we don't want it. We might not want to import content again because we might have updated it in WordPress since then, and the one in Artistia might be out of date. So just bear that in mind. So for now, I'm just going to click on replace imported content, and I'm going to give it a second, and then that's done. So let's have a look at what it looks like. It might not be perfect. We might need to tweak a couple of things, but let's take a look at how it looks. And there we go. You see, it looks pretty much like what I did in Artistia, right? And when I go to my various pages, it should have brought the content with it. There it is. Look, all the lovely styling that I did. Wasn't that easy, right? So look at the Why You Need It page, and look at there's my lovely formatted Google page. And we're logged in, so we've got the little edit option and edit up there. So we can edit this, all this stuff here, by going into the WordPress actual control panel editor by clicking here on edit page. Now what that does, that allows us to edit the content live. So we're actually on the web, we're in WordPress, and it's loaded all the content into the WordPress editor. Now notice it's not exactly what you see is what you get. It's called a WYSIWYG editor, which is the abbreviation of what you see is what you get. That's what they call it. But it's not exactly what you see, because it's only pulled out the main content. When you can edit this stuff, this is interactive. So if I put in a new line of text like that, and then I click on update, that's going to change the content of that page, right? Which it's going to do in a second for me, right? And then I click on view page once it's saved it, and as if by magic, live on the web, there it is, right? So that's how you're going to be updating your website on a weekly, monthly basis, or whatever you want. And it's literally the next website visitor that comes to that page will see that update. So this is how brilliant WordPress is. What I was saying about when you import the content, when you activate the theme, is that if I go back into Artist here for a second, that a new line of text is not there. So if I made some changes in Artist here and then exported it again and included content, if I clicked replace imported content, it would just replace this whole page and it wouldn't have that in there, right? So you've got to be careful with that. So you may or may not want to do that. If I just wanted to update the say the styling or the menu or something like that, what I'd do is in Artist here I would change something like the menu color. Let me just change the menu color. Let's change menu item coloring to, where's my coloring here? I'm in the wrong place, I think. There we go. Active, that's what we want. Fill. Right, at the minute it's that blue, right? But say I went to more colors and I said I want it to be my color selector will insist on going over the other side there. Okay, maybe I want it this blue instead, which is a more Web Catalyst kind of blue. And then click OK. You see, that might happen when we when we activate the theme. We might think, oh no, there's something I missed, or it doesn't look quite right in the real world, So we might want to update that. Now, of course, this is just a change I've made in Artist here. So first thing I'm going to do actually is click my Save button to save the Artist here project in case I have any problems. Now I'm going to go to Export again. Now what I'm going to do is change the folder name, because if I change this to 0p2, right, so that's going to make it a different theme altogether. And I'm going to untick include content, but I'm going to export it to the same folder. Export. And I know when that's done because I'll get a new folder like that. I'd suggest you follow this idea what I do with naming the folders different things. I could have exported it as the same thing and uploaded it and then overwritten the existing one, but I just don't like that kind of thing. Just trust me on that. There's other forces at work here that I haven't got time to go into, but do this and it will save you tons of hassle and confusion if because you know what technology is like, right? So now I've exported my new theme as a different version. I yet again open up my FileZilla. I could have left it open, mind you, and I click on my Site Manager, double click on Web Catalyst. If I'd left if I left FileZilla open and connected to the server, if you don't do anything for a set number of minutes, it just disconnects you anyway, and you have to go back up to Site Manager, double click to reconnect. As always, make sure you're inside the public HTML folder, inside WP content, inside themes, right click on our new theme and upload. So once I've done this, I might choose to delete the Web Catalyst Demo 0p1 folder, but at the moment that one's in use. It's being used by the site. It will make me delete it, but then if I try and visit the site, it'll look dreadful because all the images will be missing and all the styling code will be missing, etc. So in about 10 seconds time, this should have finished uploading my new theme for me, and that's now done. So let me close my FileZilla once again. Back to my Firefox, where my trusty WordPress is waiting for me. Wave over my site title, click on Dashboard, and that will return me to the WordPress control panel. And I could have just clicked on Themes there, to be honest, but let me just let it finish. Appearance, Themes, and now there'll be yet another WordPress theme waiting for me, and this one is 0p2. So I can activate that one. Now this time it won't ask me if I want to import content, because when I was in Artist here I didn't tick the box that said include content. So this way, when I view the site again, it's only brought the styling with it, right? And because we've got something go awry here. When I go to say the what it is page, now I've got my sample menu. My correct styling. Now what you'll notice here is that something's gone amiss. The menu, there's these two new menu items on there. These were the pages that were already in WordPress, aren't there? So I need to get rid of them. So what I'll do is I'll click on them to go to them, and then I'll click on Edit Page, and then from here, this is just one of the ones that's built into WordPress, right? And I just click on here, this Move to Trash button, and that will get rid of it. There we go. And also I want to get rid of this test page, so I can either trash it from here or I can click into it and trash it, or if you just prefer to navigate the site visually, you can just go to the page like this and then edit it, then click move to trash. This is exactly the same place I would have ended up if I was on the under pages, if I was on all pages. These are all the pages here that I could have just clicked on the name of it to view it in the editor like this, just the same, and then I could have clicked move to trash. Okay, that's done it. You'll notice here that there's 2 pages in the trash and 9 pages published, which are all these ones. One thing you might want to bear in mind is these things stay in the trash if you want to bring them out again, but it might be an idea to empty the trash when you click on it and then empty trash. It might be a good idea to do that because we know that the sample page is actually taking up one of the addresses. You remember when we were on the site, let me just show you this thing. When we're on the site, whichever page we're on, we've got these friendly web page names. Well, say we had a page called What It Is, and then we deleted that page and created another one later on that was called What It Is. It wouldn't let you use that page name because there's already a page in the trash with the same name, right? So to free it up, you have to empty the trash. So back into the WordPress admin, go to pages, let's go over to trash. It's unlikely that we'd create another page called sample page. If we did, it would make the web address webcatalystdemo.co.uk /sample-page, and it would probably put something like -1, number 1 on the end of it, just so it's unique. So if we want to free up these web page names, I would empty the trash. I mentioned that just so you're not pulling your hair out wondering why is it calling it, so and so -1 when there's no other page called that. Well, it's probably because it's in the trash. Now if I go back to the front end of my site, there we go, I've fixed the menu now. If I did want to add new menu items, it's easy. I just go back into Artist here and make the buttons smaller. I can also, from the WordPress admin, add new pages from here, so that's absolutely fine. I'd go to pages and I click add new. Now there's not enough room on the menu, like I say, to contain this page, so it's going to cause some problems. So if I just called this features and put a bit of text in there and then published it, if I view the site having published that page, it's going to mess the menu up, right? So I've got 2 options here. I can either go back to Artist here and shrink down the menu size, so that it all fits on one line, or I could prevent that from appearing in the menu, which I can do by going to it and then clicking on edit page, and down the bottom right hand side here there's a little thing, see here, theme options, show in menu. If I untick that, it will actually keep this page alive, but it won't show it. Like that, right? But the reason why I might want to do that is I might want to have that page not as part of the main menu, but I might want to link to it from somewhere. So say on the What It Is page, if I were, I'll use this edit link for now just for fun, we know that that link goes somewhere. The way of formatting links in the editor is a bit different. If we click on it, you see this little link icon, it's showing that there's a link active. If we clicked on the little broken link thing, it would remove that. If we click on it, it gets rid of the link, so it just becomes plain text again. But if I want it to link to another page on the site, I click on link, and I can either type in where I want it to go, www.google.com, but don't want to do that. There's also a thing here, all link to an existing content. And then you got all the page names here. Those new pages are the ones that are the subpages of About Us. So I might want to link to this features page. So all I have to do is click on it, and it puts the address of that page in there for me, right? And I click on add link. That turns the selected word into the link. Click on update. Once it's done that for me, I can click on view page, and I can actually test that link is working properly. So there's my link. Click on that link and I should end up on the features page. So that's how you link to your own pages. It's called internal linking. which is essentially what the menu is doing. It's linking to internal pages, right? So this one we know is linking to an external page, which if I click on it, notice because I set the target to blank, it does exactly what I said it would do, which is to open a new tab, right? And I can change that from the WordPress admin as well. I'll just go edit page. I click on the link, and instead of breaking the link, I click on to make a link again. And you see here this has got open link in a new window, which I can just untick that, click update, and it'll modify that link for me. Update, and it'll save those changes for me. Go to view page, and now if I click on it, it will open it in the same window. So if you don't want people navigating away from your site, because they might get carried away and get distracted by all this lovely stuff and then forget about your site, and that's one of the reasons why you might want them to open it in a new window as opposed to in the same window.